Hi, I am Kimberly Ann McElvey Bermuda from BSN Math 3A. In this video, I am going to discuss Chapter 6.1 Normal Distribution. The objectives are to identify the properties of a normal distribution and find the area under the standard normal distribution given various z-values. In the previous chapter, discrete variables and continuous variables and their distribution were explained in Chapter 5. Recall that a discrete variable cannot assume all values between any two given values of the variables, while continuous variable can assume all values between any two given values of the variables. Some examples of continuous variables include height, body temperature, cholesterol level of adults. The example mentioned have distributions that are bell-shaped, and these are called approximately normally distributed variables. For instance, if a researcher selects a random sample of 100 adult women, measures their heights, and constructs a histogram, the researchers get a graph similar to this picture. Now, if the researcher increases the sample size and decreases the width of the class, the histogram will look like this picture. Next, if it were possible to measure all the heights of all female in the United States and plot them, the histogram would approach what is a normal distribution. So this is the picture. For the last picture, it is a distribution also known as normal distribution, which is our topic in Chapter 5. First, I am going to discuss on how to identify if a distribution is symmetric or skewed. I have three pictures here. What do you observe about these three pictures? I will explain them one by one. For the first picture, as you can see, there is a red line at the center. It means that the data values are evenly distributed about the mean. It is called symmetric distribution or normal distribution. This will be explained further in the properties of normal distribution. For the second picture, compared to the first picture, there is only one red line. In this second picture, there is three red lines. It means that the majority of the data values falls to the left of the mean. This distribution is said to be skewed. This is called negatively skewed or left skewed distribution. In negatively skewed, the mean falls to the left of the median, and both mean and median falls to the left of the mode, the opposite of the second picture. It means the majority of the data values falls to the right of the mean. It is called positively skewed or right skewed distribution. In positively skewed, the mean falls to the right of the median, and both median and mean falls to the right of the mode. We can indicate the direction of skewness through the tail. If the tail is on the right, it is called positively skewed. But if the tail is on the left, it is negatively skewed. Let's move forward to the properties of normal distribution. First property, a normal distribution curve is bell-shaped. So this is the shape of a normal distribution. The mean, median, and mode are equal and are located at the center of the distribution, just like what is shown in the picture. Third property, a normal distribution curve is unimodal. It means there is only one mode. 4. The curve is symmetric about the mean. Symmetric means its shape is the same on both sides of a vertical line passing through the center. So if the left side is 50%, then the other side is also 50%. Fifth property, the curve is continuous. That is, there are no gaps or holes. For each value of x, there is a corresponding value of y. This is the mathematical equation for normal distribution, where e is approximately equal to 2.718 and pi is equal to 3.14. And the Greek letter is the population mean, and the sigma sign is the standard deviation. X is the observation or the data value, while y is the probability, percentage, or the area. Sixth property, the curve never touches the x-axis. Theoretically, no matter how far the curve extends, it never meets the x-axis, but it gets getting closer. 7. The total area under a normal distribution curve is equal to 1 or 100%. Then 8. The area under the part of a normal curve that lies within one standard deviation of the mean is approximately 68%. Within 2 standard deviation, it is about 95%. And within 3 standard deviation, it is about 99.7%. It will be explained further in the next 2 slides. Next, let's see the shape of a normal distribution. The shape and position of a normal distribution curve depends on 2 parameters, the mean and the standard deviation. A standard deviation is a measure of how the numbers spread out. The larger the standard deviation, the more dispersed or spread out the distribution is. I have 3 pictures here. So what do you observe about these 3 pictures? There are 2 curve 1 and curve 2. I will explain them one by one. For the first picture, as you can see, the 2 curve lies on one center. It means they have the same mean but different standard deviation, since curve 1 is more spread out than curve 2. The standard deviation of curve 1 is greater than the standard deviation of curve 2. For the second picture, they have the same standard deviation but different mean. Then for the third picture, they have different mean and different standard deviation, since the standard deviation of curve 1 is greater than the standard deviation of curve 2. Empirical rule. It uses normal distribution data to find the first standard deviation, second standard deviation, and third standard deviation from the mean. Empirical rule only applies if the data is symmetrical. Within one standard deviation of the mean, it is approximately 68%, and the area between the mean and the standard deviation above the mean is equal to 34.13%. Within two standard deviation of the mean, it is approximately 95%, and the area between the mean and two standard deviation above or below the mean is 13.59%. Within three standard deviation, it is approximately 99.7%. The area between the mean and three standard deviation is equal to 2.28%. Greek letter stands for the mean, which is the center of the curve. Then the sigma sign stands for standard deviation. If we add all this percentage or the area, it is equal to 50%. The same with the right side, since it is symmetrical. Standard normal distribution, it is a normal distribution with a mean of 0 and a standard deviation of 1. This is the standard normal distribution using the empirical rule. Formula for standard normal distribution is y is equal to e raised to negative z squared over 2 divided by square root of 2 pi. All normally distributed variables can be transformed into the standard normally distributed variable by using the formula for the standard score. The formula for standard score is equal to value minus mean all over standard deviation. Formula transforms the values of the variable into standard units or z-values. The use of this formula will be explained by my groupmate in chapter 6.3. Hence, the major emphasis of this section is to show the procedure for finding the area under the standard normal distribution curve. And the z-value is actually the number of standard deviation that a particular x value is away from the mean. We will be using this standard normal distribution in finding the area of any given z-values. Finding areas under the standard normal distribution curve, we have two steps. First, draw the normal distribution curve and shade the area. Second, find the appropriate figure in the procedure table and follow the directions given. Here is the procedure table. There are three basic problems, and these are summarized in the procedure table. This procedure table guides us on how to use the standard normal distribution and in visualizing the problem. In finding the area under standard normal distribution curve, we use the table E in Appendix C. It gives the area under the normal distribution curve to the left or right of any z-value given in two decimal places. We have positive z-values and the negative z-values. Example. Look for the area of z is equal to 1.12. Using the table E, it is found by looking up 1.1 in the left column, then 0.02 at the top row. Where the two lines meet, it gives an area of E is equal to 1.12 is 0.8686. Let's have an example. Find the area of z is equal to 1.99. First, draw the figure using the normal curve, then shade the area. Since we are looking for the area of a positive z-value, the shaded area will be the left part of the curve. Then next, find the area value for z using table E. It is found by looking 1.9 in the left column and 0.09 at the top row, where the two lines meet gives an area of 0.9767. This first example is an example of case 1 in the procedure table, wherein we will just use the obtained area in table E. Hence, the area value of z is equal to 1.99 is 0.9767. We can also use Microsoft Excel to find the area of any given z-value. First, go to Microsoft Excel. Then, we will find the area to the left of z is equal to 1.99. Then type equals, then norms, EIST, then quantity, the given z-value, 1.99, then enter. So it is the same as what we compute using table E in Appendix C. Second example, find the area of z is equal to negative 1.16. Draw the figure, then shade the area. Since we are looking for the area of a negative z-value, the shaded area is on the right side of the curve. Then, find the area value of z is equal to negative 1.16 in table E. It is found by looking negative 1.1 at the left column, then 0.06 at the top row, where the two lines meet gives an area of 0.1230. The second example is an example of case 2 in procedure table. We will subtract the obtained area from 1. 1 minus 0.1230 is equal to 0.8770. So the area of z is equal to negative 1.16 is 0.8770. Third example, find the area between z is equal to 1.68 and z is equal to negative 1.37. First, draw the figure. So we are looking for the area between negative 1.37 and 1.68. Next step, find the area value of the given z-values in table E. For 1.68, the area is 0.9535. For negative 1.37, the area is 0.0853. This third example is an example of case 3 in procedure table, wherein we will subtract the corresponding areas of the two z values. 0.9535 minus 0.0853 is equal to 0.8682. So the area between the two z values is 0.8682. Under the normal distribution curve can also be taught as a probability. If we are asked to find the probability of any z values, it is the same as the first three example. For example, find the probability of any z value between 0 and 2.32. It is written as probability of 0 less than z less than 2.32. First step is draw the figure using the normal curve. Then shade the area. So the shaded area is from mean up to the z values of 2.32. Then next is find the area value of 0 and 2.32 in table E. For 2.32, the area is 0.9898. Then the area value of 0 is 0.5. This is an example of case 3 wherein we will subtract the corresponding areas. 0.9898 minus 0.5 is equal to 0.4898. Hence, the probability is 0.4898 or 48.98%. Find the probability of z less than 1.65. First step, draw the figure, then shade the area. Looking for the area below 1.65, then the shaded area is at the left part of the curve. Next, find the area value of 1.65 in table E. The area value is 0.9505. This example is an example of case 1, wherein we will just use the obtained area. Hence, the probability of z less than 1.65 is equal to 95.05%. Next example, find the probability of z greater than 1.65. Draw the figure, then shade the area. Since the z value is greater than 1.65, the shaded area will be at the right side of the curve. Then, the area value of 1.65 is 0.9505. And this example is an example of case 2, wherein we will subtract the obtained area from 1. 1 minus 0.9505 is equal to 0.0495. Hence, the probability of z greater than 1.65 is equal to 0.0495 or 4.95%. Sometimes we can find the specific z value for a given area under the standard normal distribution curve. The procedure is to work backward using table E. Let's have an example. Find the z value such that the area under the standard normal distribution curve between 0 and the z value is 0.2123. So the given here is the area, and we are looking for the value of the positive z value. First we need to do is add 0.5 to the given area. 0.5 plus 0.2123 is equal to 0.7123. Look up the cumulative area of 0.7123 in table E. So the area is on the 5th row, and the value to the left is 0.5, and the top value is 0.06. Then add these two values to get 0.56. Then the z value for the given area is 0.56. For applying the concept, I will assess the normality of this data. The given data, the numbers of branches of the 50 top libraries are shown. First, we need to do is put all this data in Microsoft Excel. After we put all the data in first column, construct a frequency distribution. So here's the frequency distribution. Next I'm going to do is draw a histogram. Here is our histogram for the frequency distribution. First, I will calculate the value of median, mean, and the standard deviation. For median, it is equal to median, then all of the data, then enter. Then for mean, it is equal to average. So for standard deviation, it's equal to st dev dot s, then all of the data. This is our median, mean, and standard deviation. Now I have construct a frequency distribution for the data, and also construct a histogram for the data. The next thing we need to do is to describe the shape of the histogram. The histogram is skewed to the right, or it is positively skewed. Based on median and the mean, the median is 24, then the mean is 31.38, which means that the mean falls to the right of the median, which is the definition of a positively skewed. Based on your answer to question number 3, do you feel that the distribution is approximately normal? No, the distribution does not appear to be normal, since it is skewed to the right. Next is find the mean and standard deviation for the data. Since I already calculated the mean and standard deviation using Microsoft Excel, the mean is equal to 31.38 and the standard deviation is equal to 20.62. We find the mean and standard deviation for the data. We will now find the percent of the data value falls within one standard deviation of the mean. To find the data value falls within one standard deviation, add or subtract the standard deviation from the mean. To find the data value that falls within one standard deviation above the mean, add mean and standard deviation, which is equal to 52. Standard deviation below the mean, subtract the standard deviation from the mean, which is equal to 10.8. Then the data value within one standard deviation of the mean is between 10.8 and 52. To get the percent, let's go back to Microsoft Excel. Count the data value that is between 10.8 and 52. Below 10.8, it is not included, so I will start with 12 up to 49. Then divide it by 50. Then after that, multiply it by 100 to get the percent. Of data value, 80% falls within one standard deviation of the mean between 10.8 and 52. What percent of the data values falls within two standard deviation of the mean? So to get the two standard deviation above or below the mean, 2 times the standard deviation and add or subtract it from the mean. For 2 standard deviation above the mean, it is equal to 72.6. For 2 standard deviation below the mean, it is equal to negative 9.86. Since there is no negative data value in our data, we will just change it into 0. So the 2 standard deviation of the mean is between 0 and 72.6. So let's go back to Microsoft Excel to check the data between 0 and 72.6. Now let's count the data from between 0 to 72.6. I will start from 9 up to 67. Then divide it by 50. Then multiply it by 100. Data value 92% falls within 2 standard deviations of the mean, which is between 0 and 72.6. Number 8, what percent of the data value falls within 3 standard deviation of the mean? To get the 3 standard deviation above or below the mean, 3 times the standard deviation, then add or subtract it from the mean. For the 3 standard deviation above the mean, it is equal to 93.2. For 3 standard deviation below the mean, it is equal to negative 30.48. Since there is no negative data value in our data, we will just change it into 0. The 3 standard deviation of the mean is between 0 and 93.2. Let's go back to Microsoft Excel to count the data value that is between 0 and 93.2. Let's count. Then data value between 0 and 93.2. 97 is not included since it is greater than 93.2. Then divide it by 50. Then after that, multiply it by 100. Of the data values, 98% falls within 3 standard deviation of the mean between 0 and 93.2. Next question, how do your answer to question 6, 7, and 8 compare to 68, 95, and 100% respectively? My answer in 6 to 8 is differ from 68, 95, and 100% that we commonly see in a normal distribution. Last question, does your answer help support the conclusion you reach in question 4? Yes. Why? Because these values support the conclusion that the distribution of the variable is not normal. So that's all for my report. Thank you for watching and listening.